Okay, welcome back to our special fall movie preview show here at Popcorn, where we're telling you not only about movies, but which movies are really going to make an impression. And fall is nothing in Hollywood if you can't get nominated for an Oscar for acting in it, directing in it, because this is what they want. They save it. They make us suffer for 2/3 of the year, and then at the end they put out movies that are actually, wait for it, good. Well, the first fall movie, the first big one that opens, is called The Master. It's written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who I think is the top of the line of his generation of what's doing it. It stars Philip Seymour Hoffman as a figure very much like L. Ron Hubbard, who wrote Dianetics and basically formed Scientology, and Joaquin Phoenix as his client, and Amy Adams as the wife of Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. Now, I'm saying this right up here. I've seen this movie. I'm saying if there's a better movie in the year 2012 than The Master, I will eat the camera that is photographing me right now. This is an amazing piece of work by a director who stands with the greatest right now. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance here is at least the equal of what he did in Capote, for which he won the Oscar. So I'm saying Oscar's all over this one. I'm saying it. You heard me. Come after me if I'm wrong. Another huge Oscar movie with Steven Spielberg's name on it is called Lincoln. So I guess you know it's about Abraham Lincoln, but it's Abraham Lincoln at the end of his life. He is just working. A civil war is over. He's trying to deal with everything that he created. And it stars Daniel Day-Lewis, who we all know becomes the character he plays. The other actors on this movie basically had to treat him as if he was Abraham Lincoln. The man is great. We can't say anything about it. Whatever his technique is, if you can do performances like My Left Foot and There Will Be Blood, then you are a great actor. You know, this is it. So missing Lincoln, that would just be silly. How about Hyde Park on the Hudson, starring Bill Murray? Yes, you heard me. Bill Murray as FDR. Yep. When he is married, but he's having an affair with somebody else. I don't know what will happen, but if you think I'm going to miss a movie with Bill Murray playing FDR, you're nuts, and you would be nuts to miss it.
Actions of Iran have shocked the civilized world.
Another major movie for fall is called Argo, directed by Ben Affleck, who also stars in this movie, but based on a true story about the Iranian hostage crisis in 1979 and how they got these people out by pretending they were making a cheap Hollywood movie. Suspense, all kinds of things going on. Ben Affleck moving away from the Boston area and doing something on a global scale. I think you're going to be surprised by this, and I'm not going to say any more about it because you should see it and get that suspenseful feel. Here's a name that when you associate him with movies, Robert Zemeckis, you always think big. You're always thinking that he is going to come up with new techniques and everything, and no. His new movie, Flight, starring Denzel Washington, isn't that at all. It was made on the cheap. For Zemeckis, that would be around $30 million. And Denzel Washington plays a pilot who is a hero pilot who brought a plane down, but who is also an alcoholic. So we're seeing a drama about this. Now, if the combination of Zemeckis and Denzel Washington doesn't add up to Oscars, somebody's going to be fired. That's all I'm saying. Do you remember, people, because I do and I'm bitter about it, when Clint Eastwood about 3 or 4 years ago made a movie called Gran Torino that was supposed to be the end of his acting career, made the most money he ever made as a movie? He said, "Get off my lawn." I love that movie. Did Clint get nominated as Best Actor? He did not. So he's back. He didn't retire after Gran Torino. He is in a movie called Trouble with the Curve. He's playing a baseball scout who's going blind. Amy Adams is his daughter. Justin Timberlake is another scout who he's always feuding with. And just to see Clint squint on screen is enough for me. Nomination, if it was me, he'd have it now. Okay, performances in the fall. Performances are everything when we talk about Academy Awards. If you can almost get a Best Picture nomination if you have actors who are really at the top of their form. And there's a movie that I thought, I don't even want to see this, and that was before I saw it, and it was called The Sessions, and it's a true story, and it stars John Hawkes as this poet, this guy who lived in the world, who spends most of his life in an iron lung and has never had sex. And he hires a sex surrogate who is played by, of all people, Helen Hunt. And yet, you look at this, I mean, I remember John Hawkes, and we all remember him in Winter's Bone, where he scared us to death. This is so different. This is a performance so emotional and that draws you in so much. And Helen Hunt and he together, they have to be nominated. This is what Fall's about. So give them the nomination. And when you feel like me that you don't want to see a movie about a guy in an iron lung having sex, know from me that you are wrong and that you need to see The Sessions. In terms of major, in terms of the kind of movie that makes critics excited and sometimes audiences, but audiences not as much, I'm going to talk about Zero Dark 30. This is the first movie that the director Kathryn Bigelow has made since she won the Oscar, the first woman to win the Oscar for The Hurt Locker. And this is a movie about the hunt for Osama bin Laden. Controversy all about it. The Republican Party believes that the Obama administration gave Kathryn Bigelow and her screenwriter Mark Boal access to information that they shouldn't have had. This sounds like nonsense. We as movie fans care about one thing, you know. How did these two get together, Kathryn Bigelow and Mark Boal, to tell this incredible story? And how are we seeing it behind the scenes? I mean, there's so many people in this movie, Jessica Chastain among them. But I think this is a story meant to be told by exactly these people. And it doesn't open to December because they insisted it come after the election, so we couldn't say this was influencing anything about the Obama administration. I don't care whose administration it's influencing or not. What I care about is these are filmmakers who are doing something that actually might matter. Hey, a fall movie that matters. That's why I'm so happy about Fall.